Hi everyone, this is Brett Endies, the Dog Savant, dogtrainingla.com. So I'm here with my buddy Max, seen him before, and we're gonna go through steps on how to get your dog from inside the house to outside the house. In this case, we're gonna go through some steps to get him in the car to go do some of our walk and train session out in a distraction-rich environment. Stay tuned. So here we have Max. I put him back in his kennel just for demonstration's sake. And he is a guy who, not too long ago, had a real problem with over-anticipating many aspects of life, but one really bad area for him was getting in and out of the kennel or in and out of doorways. So as you see, he's very calm and relaxed because he's learned to make a new association that by being calm, doing a command, thinking in the moment is how he's going to get ahead, versus the way he had learned some bad habits before I got to meet him. So we're going to show you the steps here that, number one, you want your dog to be calm. You want to make that association that when they feel something is pending, that they don't think too many steps ahead. So with that, you might want to do some training in the kennel, teach your dog to do a nice hard down or sit command with deep levels of focus. Even when you're reaching in to put the leash on. And Max here, what I've taught him, because we're working on his recall, is to come and sit and present himself in front of me to wait for the leash. Good boy, very good, you got a face. So here we have Max with his leash and collar on. I'm using a Starmar training collar today, but I use a various range of tools depending on what the individual dog needs and where they're at in their training. So he's learned, and we're going to use a long leash because we're going to do some distance work once we're out and about, but he's learned to stay calm and just remain in the moment until I cue him to get to the next step, which I'll hear. He's been taught the heel command. So that's what engages him walking. We've taught him on the left side. He's also learned not only to automatic sit very good, but also to sit at doors, because this was another area that he had some challenges. So he's learning that as the door opens, you see he's twitchy. We're still working on this every day. I think he's getting away with this sometimes when I'm not here doing it by the book. So dogs are black and white learners, that if you're not being 100% consistent, that 99 out of 100 doesn't quite convince them for the long haul. So, this is some areas where you might want to work on distance. A lot of problems with common approaches to dog training is, they'll tell you to walk through a door first or walk upstairs first, but the dog is mentally so ahead of themselves it doesn't matter, because their over-anticipation is what's getting both of you to move forward despite your best external efforts. So make sure your dog is focused, he's in the moment, he's not thinking any steps ahead, then we can proceed forward. So from here, I'm going to continue a series of commands just to get him from the threshold to the door, out the gate, into the car, and that's where I'll meet you guys next. So I heeled Max to the vehicle, and he's here sitting in wait for the next cue, and you, again, don't want your dog to be assuming what the next step is. Let them remain in the moment until you cue them, climb, to get in on command, and then once they're in the vehicle or to the next location or some place you're going to next, give them a follow-up command. Sit. I'll help them out there. Lay down. All right, so we're off and ready to go. Okay, so here we are in the vehicle. I've got Max behind me, and what he's learned is that as long as he stays calm, he could sit or lay down. When we first started working on this, he was not so well behaved in the car. He got very stimulated, very reactive to other dogs or people that would be on the outside of the vehicle. So we put him in nothing but a sit or a down whenever we did this. So he learned to make a new, more filtered, calm association every time he would encounter the stimuli, so that he could now, we could rewire his brain so that he can figure out that without reacting, he still stayed alive, and now without having to command him or monitor him so constantly, he has these skills on his own. But again, if you're just headed somewhere and your dog is getting really excited because they know that where you're going, or they're nervous because they know you're going to the vet, you still want to use these techniques to get their mind and body connected, so they're not overthinking or they're not getting anxious to what the next pending event is, because that's the number one reason why dogs have a problem in the moment or react to the new situations once you arrive there. Okay, so here we have Max waiting. We've just arrived, and what I've taught him, just like the way we left or entered the vehicle, is to not anticipate what's going to happen once we arrived at the new location. This is especially important if you're showing up at a dog park or somewhere where the dog has made a very excited association. You don't want them jumping the gun. That could really be a safety issue. So you want to teach them how to be patient and wait until the next cue is given. So what I'm going to do is tell Max, on my command, heel, to get out of the vehicle and sit. So when you first arrive, heel. You want to give your dog a nice solid command. You want him to be focused and make this calm association without getting too reactive or too distracted, stimulated by what's going on around you. So what I'm teaching Max is that when we arrive here at the supermarket parking lot, which by the way is a wonderful place to practice, I'll explain why in a second, that all that he knows is my direction to get him ahead or to get something new to happen and to make the calm association through it. Once you've got that down, you want to also build your commands. So you want to build distance, time, duration, and of course get distractions close to him so he can have these skills of listening, very good sit, despite what's going on around him. So again, I can't overemphasize the importance of working with your dog in a wide range of situations with a very wide range of distractions, increasing the intensity, increasing the amount, increasing the duration. So even when we get back home, we want to make sure Max is not chomping at the bit, not smelling the barn, as they say, and he is being as patient as he always was until we cue him to the final step of this event. So here he's waiting at the gate. We're going to give him a heel to move forward. We're going to have him at the next gate, door auto sit. He's learned that both on the heel and at doors. And I'm going to just push this all the way home. So we heel him back inside. Max wants to get his drink, so I'll have him sit while he waits. And again, we're only doing this because he's a dog that had a very difficult time remaining patient. So we're having Max for the final step, wait patiently for his water. And just keep in mind, the only reason why we're being so micromanaging here of this event is because Max learned some bad habits as a puppy in terms of this overstimulating, over-anticipating way of going about life is what got things ahead versus remaining in the moment, nice, calm, cool, collected. And of course, as you see, this will prevent all the behaviors as far as jumping, barking, leash pulling, reacting, and whatnot too. All right, so we're gonna have him hold his command here for the final step until he gets his release. Okay, good boy. And while he's having his drink, I'm gonna take the opportunity to remove his leash and collar. Okay, so there you have it. That was just a brief start to finish of how you would want to take your dog out on a walk, on trips, to go to the dog park, wherever it may be if your dog has a problem over anticipating and reacting or pulling on the leash to get to these next spaces as I've been explaining. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Love your dog. Oh, and please subscribe. Bye, guys.